Hi, welcome to today's video. My name's Paul. So this week, back to some watercolor landscape painting. I should say at this point, it looks like there's a blue filter or something on the camera. Everything looks a bit sort of bluish. That's not intentional, it's just the camera that I have. It's a cheap camera. I have no studio lights to lighten up the place, and it's getting that time of year when it's getting quite dull inside the house. The studio that I use, and I say studio, it's basically a closet with a window, small window. It gets quite dark in there, so even if I did have studio lights, even if I could afford to buy them, I wouldn't have any space to put them up. So basically what I'm saying is that's why it all looks a bit blue. But you got to work with what you've got, so this is it. In terms of other things, usual materials and things, it's Sennelier paint. Again, it's a limited palette. I'm a big fan of limited palettes for a number of reasons. First of all, not least of which is it's cheaper. You don't need to buy as many paints. It also helps with some aspects of composition, for example, harmony. If you're using a limited palette, you're not getting it's not going to end up looking like a Fauves painting with colour just splashed everywhere. It's going to be a bit more harmonious, which I enjoy. I like that sort of composition. The colours themselves, there's a couple of blues. French ultramarine blue, Prussian blue, it's just a darker blue. There's, I think it's light phthalo green they call it. It's a yellowish green. And then the main yellow that you can see me putting on here is that light cadmium yellow, which is quite an opaque colour. So you can put it down on top of other layers and it'll still work. If you're using a colour like, so some brands will have colours like lemon yellow or something, which is this. It looks very bright as well, but it's very often a transparent colour, so you can't really put it down on top of something darker. And that's one of the things about watercolor paint. Other things, as usual, there's no reference photos, there's no sketches or anything. This one, I really had no idea what I was doing. It's just making it up as I went along. I didn't even have really an idea in my head. I just put down a horizon line and started building from that. Sometimes that can work, sometimes it doesn't. But it is a sort of liberating way of painting, if you like. If you're working from a reference or from a sketch, you feel as though you have to reproduce that sketch or that reference in a good way, sort of thing. If there is no reference, then you can just do whatever you want, and at the end of the day, and this is the final painting, you just say, well, that's what it is. It wasn't meant to look like anything, and it's fine. I'm happy enough with the painting. I think it is very loose. You can see it was quite wet sort of painting, and you can see that with the hedgerow sort of across the middle. You can see all of those sort of blooms, or cauliflower effect, some people call it. Which is one of the things about watercolor painting, of course. It's one of the sort of key things about watercolor painting is you can create these sort of effects that you couldn't really create with any other medium, I don't think. Well, if you made it this far into the video, it was a short video this week. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.